What's happening, people? Welcome to another video with Allsortz and welcome to episode 2 of Lego Life. Today we are starting part 1 with the engine. Now there are a few other components, but we are going to check later on in the video what else we are going to build in number 1 box of the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. What's happening, people? So here we have episode 2 of Lego Life, and we have definitely gone in the deep end by trying out this Porsche 911 GT3 RS by Lego Technic. But just before I get started in trying to attempt to build this, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that bell notification so when I upload you will actually be notified. This is part 1 and we'll be going all the way up to part 5 in episode 2 of Lego Life with this Porsche. So as you may know, if you see my unboxing of this, I did actually explain what I'll be doing throughout these part 1 to 5. So the last one, part 5, will be the assembly of the full car, but in part 1 to 4 we'll be actually building the components. So let's take a look at the box. At the front here we've got the engine. Of course it's not going to be this size, but it just gives you a glimpse of what the engine will look like. So we've got a 911 GT3 RS. But just before I open this box, let's take a look at the manuals. Now, like I said, if you didn't see my unboxing, you wouldn't actually know how big the manuals are, and this is the manuals. Check this out, people. I've done a few sneak peeks of what to expect on my social media, so if you don't follow me, make sure you follow me. So let's take a look at this booklet before we attempt to actually build this car. Now this is gonna actually take a while. So this booklet at the start actually tells you a history about Porsche, and then it goes on to the history of how they build this Lego with the Porsche 911 GT3 RS, as you can see right here. If you want me to do a separate video on the full history in this booklet of this car, then make sure you hit the comment section below and let me know. Then I will actually do that for you, as the history is quite long, to be honest. So there is the history. That's how many pages we have for the history of the Porsche 911 GT3 RS with the Lego and also Porsche itself. So the main thing we need to look at is this part 1 of the Lego Technic Porsche, as you can see right here. So you're probably thinking, what contains in this box, as it's so big it just can't contain the engine. So we are going to take a look at what it actually contains and what we will be building. Part 1. The first step in the construction of your 911 GT3 RS is to build the drivetrain, complete with the dual clutch gearbox, paddle shifters, suspension, and the heart of the 911 GT3 RS, the 4-litre flat 6 engine. So that's what we are going to build. When you have completed all the steps in box 1, you'll be able to test out all the functions and see how they work. So I definitely can't wait for that, as it's not just actually building the Lego. These parts will actually move as well, the engine, everything what's in it. So not only are we going to build it, we can actually test out how it actually works. So when we actually flip the next page, we actually start, as you can see right here. And you're probably thinking, how long does it take? As a book like this, how long does it take? Well, just in box 1, this is how much pages it is. Let's see. So yeah, as you can see right here, you've got build box 1, and that's how much pages they are in build box 1. So this is definitely going to take some time. As you can see right here, that's build box 2, and that's number 2, as you can see. So wish me luck, people. As you are going to get on the screen, you're going to get a time lapse of me actually building it, so you're actually lucky there. You don't need to go through all the time that I am going to consume on building the part 1, but I'll actually do a stopwatch on my phone next to when I'm building, so it just gives you a glimpse of how long it's going to take while I'm building this. So anyways guys, I am going to start box 1. Wish me luck, and I'll stop halfway through just to show you how much time it's taken me and also where I've got to, and then we'll carry on with the time lapse, and hopefully at the end we'll get to see what components we've built and how we actually use them. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and let's get started. just actually organized all the packets here. I've opened them, and yeah, there we have it, guys. That's how much pieces there are just in box one. So wish me luck. Let's get started, people. As you can see here, we have the engine, we've got a bit of the drivetrain, and it's actually took me 58 minutes just to actually do that. Now the bad thing I don't like is different parts are in different bags. One section is not in one bag, if you know what I mean. And also, if you need to duplicate something, if you look here, when you're actually doing this one, it doesn't actually say use two. It just says one, and just do all of that. So once you finish that, as you can see right here, then you've got to duplicate it again. So it'd been better if they actually put ×2 on this long drivetrain right here, as one page is for one and the other page is for other. If they did ×2, it'd make it much quicker and you won't actually use that much pages as well. But anyways, guys, I'm going to crack on with it, as it took me an hour just to do the engine and part of the drivetrain. Right, so we are 2 hours in now, and we are getting along with the drivetrain. So as you can see, the engine has been done, and here's the drivetrain. We've got the similar to the gearbox or something like that. So yeah, a lot has been done in this last hour. But if you're probably thinking, wow, it looks boring, everything on it actually moves. Check this out. So even though it's made with Lego, everything actually moves on it. So as you can see right here, we've got the top of the engine and we have the cylinders right here. Everything moves. So let's crack on with it. I am currently on number 79 in the first box, but there's 360. So currently I'm nowhere near, after 2 hours, just currently going on 79 and there's 360. So let's crack on the next hour. Just want to show you what time it is as well. It is currently 21:36. So we'll see you in the next hour. 3 hours into it, people. Now here we have the drivetrain. You might think, oh, there's not a lot being done to it, but believe me, everything is internal, you know, the moving parts and everything. I'm currently on 117. I've just finished that, starting 118. But yeah, we're 3 hours into it, and I've got to say the attention to detail of this drivetrain, just the drivetrain, everything actually works. Everything is movable. It's definitely time consuming. You've got to have a lot of patience to actually build this. I've not even hit a quarter of it. I've just actually touched the iceberg about this, and I'm already tired. I've been 3 hours at it, so it's definitely gonna take more than 10 hours. But I've got to say the attention to detail is definitely really good on this car. Anyways, I'm going to give it another hour and then have a break and probably finish the rest of tomorrow. I want to get through half of it, which is 160, but currently on 118. Anyways, here goes another hour. 4.5 hours in. Now here is the drivetrain. We've got the engine behind here and all the components, gearbox and whatnot, all behind here. And this is what I'll be building as well, the steering rack of the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. And what we're going to do is, I thought I might as well assemble this to the car, show you, and yeah, I'm going to call it quits from there, as this is the assembly of the steering rack to the body. So currently 174, and that's where we're going to stop. So yeah, here's me assembling the steering rack to the car. Now here's the steering rack, as you can see here, with the Porsche steering wheel. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect this part here to the chassis of the car, as you can see right here. Looks a bit dodgy. So once we've done that, at the back you just pop these two bolts in there. Hopefully this one will go in. Right, and there we have it. It's popped in. Turn it back round and we are good to go. So the steering body is actually connected to the chassis. I'm going to call it a day after 4.5 hours. To be honest, when I was doing the steering column, actually I did a mistake, so that cost me another half an hour. So altogether we are 4.5 hours into this build, and all what we have done is we have done the chassis and the steering column and also the engine as well, which is right here. The engine is right there as well. So like I said, I was going to show you the components and what work and what not, but you're gonna have to wait for the full assembly and the full components test. So anyways guys, let's wait for day 2, and we'll finish box number 1, part number 1 here on Lego Life. We are on day number 2 of building this Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Quick recap, this actually took me 4.5 hours. It's the drivetrain, engine, steering rack, and I've got a few other components to fill. I've got halfway through box number 1, and there's 360 roundabout here, 360 numbers, and I'm on 175. But anyways guys, I've got my stopwatch ready. Yesterday took 4.5 hours, so yeah, I'll do a update every hour just to see where I've got, and hopefully this will actually be done today, as I didn't expect it taking that long. Anyways, let's get started. Right, quick update after an hour and 5 minutes. I have done a few other bits onto the chassis, as you can see right here with the GT3 RS, a few others here, but the main thing that I've been doing is this right here. Now this is the front axle and also the drive shaft and brake calipers. Can you see the Porsche sign right there? The front axle and the brake calipers, they're the way the tires are going on as well. So now we are going to assemble this to the body itself. Let's get cracking. What do you think guys? This is definitely coming along. The front drivetrain, the front axle, these are where the tire goes. You've got the brake calipers right here. That's a Porsche on them. You've got the steering wheel here. Anyways, guys, I'm not going to bore you too much. I'm going to crack on with it, and I'll see you again in another hour. 2 hours and 24 minutes into this. As you can see right here, everything is on. A few of the bits being added, and here is the back axle for the wheels, brake calipers, and a few of the components like the suspension, which does work. Oops, I broke it. Anyways, time to assemble this to the car. As you can see right here, this is the chassis, and this front here, this is the axle, which is actually connected to the body, so we need to put this in here, I presume. Right people, I'm going to stop doing updates now, and I'm going to show you the finished chassis product at the end. As you can see right here, you've got kind of the body train in the middle with the axles on each side, engine in the middle, and also we have the steering wheel, which we've also connected, and it actually turns the wheel, so check that out people. But anyways guys, time to finish this off, and then I'll show you the final product. Show you this, check the cylinders out. So you turn this, and then you can actually see the cylinders. Definitely attention to detail, this Porsche, definitely worth buying. And we have finished. It has took me to do the other half 3 hours 45 minutes, and here we have all of the bags kind of empty. There's a few spare parts, as you can see right here. This is for the body, but yeah, all together 7 hours and 45 minutes. Okay people, let's talk a bit about the 7 hours and 45 minutes I spent just on the drivetrain of this car. Well, after a long time of a lot of headache, a lot of patience, going back to correct my errors, I've actually finally done the drivetrain. Now let's just switch it all around. Here we have the steering wheel, which is actually connected to the front axle. You've got your brake pads here, which actually say Porsche. You've got your wheels that are going to go there, and also the steering wheel moves as well. It moves the tires, as you can see right here. There we have it. Now not only that, we've got a few other Porsche signs as well. So the steering wheel's got a Porsche sign, GT3 RS. The back engine, or should I say, is the GT3 RS 4.0 flat 6 engine. Here we have the gearbox, as you can see right there, and all these components in the middle actually work. Now also there's a few cylinders. If you didn't see it on my Snapchat or Instagram, there were a few cylinders that also work as well that are there, so I don't know if you can see it right there. But anyways guys, there we have the drivetrain of the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. I'm just going to talk to you about how I was actually building it, and then yeah, wrap this video up, as we've still got 3 more parts to go, and that means building again. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Right, I am going to say what a headache this was. The reason I got a headache is not only that I had to build a lot of Lego, is that the plastic that it actually came in, none of them were actually numbered up. They've all got number 1s on them. That means just that's the box, you know, the box 1. This one here, the engine, as I showed you in the unboxing. That just goes to show what box in. But when I was actually going through the manuals, I was actually going through all the parts that was being needed. So one part would actually be in here, one part would be in here, one part would be in here, and then I assembled just that little part to fit onto the body. So all the parts were actually all muddled up into different bags, so that was actually a ball ache trying to find the parts. So I would say about 2 hours just went into finding the parts. Probably an hour went into this fixing my mistakes, as it just got too tiring actually building this drivetrain. Hopefully this is the hardest part of the car. I am hoping so, because the box of this is actually the biggest out of all the 4 parts that I am going to build. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed part 1 of this nightmare build of the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Make sure you tune in for part 2, as I will be doing a few interior models on this car, so building a few interiors just to fix this car up. So I won't show you as much now, but in the part 5 I'll actually assemble all of the car and actually show you more detail on the working parts of this car as well. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up. I have spent 7.5 hours just on this drivetrain, so a thumbs up would be appreciated, and also a big subscribe, so when I upload you will actually be notified if you hit that bell button. Thank you for watching guys, and I'll see you again for another video. It's going to be this box right here. I'm going to build, I think pretty much sure this is the engine. So in part 1 I'll be building the engine, then going into part 2, which we have